Hello and welcome to my brief little tutorial on how to navigate inside of my Brightspace course. This one is for psychology of personality. So I'm going to go through things really quick. So this is not really a long video, but you can always rewind it and look at places where there might be some confusion. So let's get started. See if I can, here's my screen. This is the entry page into psychology of personality. Put my little picture there so you know I'm still alive and awake here. So we have the home page here. This is being viewed as you see it. As an instructor, I have a slightly different view. And if you've used Brightspace before, you know that there are menu items here. Content will bring you to all the modules in the class, course resources. You'll see that, announcements, class lists, and stuff for UMA. And then this is a good one right here, assessments. Go to your grade book, assignments, discussions, and quizzes. That's pretty much all there is in my class. And then, of course, different tools here. You start out over here on the left is the announcements section. That's where you'll see a video each week. I will be putting a video there telling you what's going on that week. And I've actually minimized the course modules here. If I expanded that out, you would see the course modules here. There's only 4 of them, I think. Might be more. But this is the only one you have to really worry about. But for a cleaner interface, I usually collapse that. A little thing about me. And so your first point to go at is over to content. You click on content and let's go to syllabus here. And this is where you're going to see, this is where you're seeing this video right here. This is an old video. I'm replacing this video this semester with this one. We have introduction to the basic course information here, the starting date and the end date. And then very, very important here, this is the book. This is the book that you want. This is an optional textbook. You just download that. That's free from Open Textbooks. My course book is based on that one. But for this one, you can order the book from Apple or Amazon. It's also available in the campus bookstore. However, I submitted that late. So I provided chapters 1 through 5 as a free PDF. So you can click that and it'll open up. Here's the course book written by me, and go right through that. So and of course down here you have the syllabus and a little video about me, which is going to look different than this because I'm also updating these videos. So after syllabus, ignore bookmarks, ignore schedule, ignore all of this stuff here unless you need student resources and whatnot. The only link you need is this one right here, course timeline. Click on that and it opens up this single document that explains that this is where all the links are in the course. So this explains what the timeline is. This is what you should do before taking the class. Go to the course lounge, which is a discussion, or to introduce yourself, course questions, answer questions, ask questions about the course. And I ask you to do a student intake form. That's just telling me a little about yourself and your journey in education. And then our semester begins. Oh, ignore that January 20. I forgot to delete that. But here we are, beginning Tuesday, September 2. We're looking at chapter 1. Next week, we're going to look at chapter 2. After that, chapter 3 and 4, 2 chapters in that week. And under each one of these headings, you have chapter 1, Introduction to Personality, chapter 1, Discussion A, Discussion B, the quiz, and the assignment. These links right here will take you to the discussion. So you can participate in that discussion. And this takes you to the quiz. This takes you to the assignment. Now, one of the things that I ask you to do is to not engage in the discussions ahead of time. Don't work ahead on the discussions. You can work ahead on everything else, but don't work ahead on the discussions. Just work on chapter 1 during week 1. Just work on chapter 2 during week 2. If there's any errors like this Martin Luther King that comes up, just get in touch with me. A lot of this is copy and paste, and sometimes I miss making some of those transitions. And that is pretty much how to navigate this class. It's fairly straightforward. The important thing in terms of a day-to-day how do I approach this class. First, I use the announcement board all the time. I use the announcement board once a week to post an information video. I use the announcements to post if I've made any changes to the class. And I use the announcements to post when I've corrected something and I've graded it. It's very important that when I've graded something, don't just look at the grade and say, I got 100, I'm all set. Go and look for comments anyway. Sometimes I leave them, sometimes I don't. I will justify and I will tell you why I take off points for every time I do that. It's somewhere in the feedback, and I want you to be able to have that full circle of what assessment is all about. You read what I told you to read, you present your best effort for understanding and demonstrating your learning, and then I provide feedback on that. That's that complete loop that makes learning happen. Reading the feedback is completely important. Now there's also tools in here. You'll notice there's a, up over here, there's an email. That's an email client built in to Brightspace, and you can send me an email. It will come to me with this subject, so that's good. I know what class you're talking about. And if you click on address book, you can add my name. You can also add anybody else's name. The entire class is there. The entire class is listed in there. You pick the name, check the little box, then you go up and you put to, or CC, or blind CC, wherever you want that address to go, and then add it. Kind of a skill set to learn how to use the email thing in here. Please feel free to email me about this class. So the basic understanding of engaging with this class is that every week you come in and you watch that video. You consult the timeline as to what's due that week. In the course book, you read those chapters or that chapter, and you review the assignments at the end of that chapter. Prepare all of your assignments and then go back in to the course and complete the assignments. Discussion first posts should be in early in the week, preferably by Wednesday. That gives people the rest of the week, people including yourself, the opportunity to respond. I'm going to have you self-police that. If people start slacking off and it goes into, people aren't posting till later in the week, I'll have to institute a policy that reduces your grade if you don't post by Wednesday. So make an effort to do that. If at all, some people say I only work Friday and Saturday, the end of the week kind of thing. That's the only time I can do this. Then have your answer prepared, and sometime Monday morning, while you're having breakfast, post your answer early in the morning. Post your first. Start working on the next one. Have it prepared, ready to go for the next week. So you've done your first post, you're all set until you can do your replies on the end of the week. So there's really no reason to not participate in the discussion in the first half of the week and then do the replies in the second half of the week. Make sure that that's happening. As far as the quizzes and the assignments are concerned, the instructions, including detailed grading rubrics, are all can be found in the course book. So that is this class. And since this has been, I expected this was going to get really specific about personality, but it didn't. I'm going to actually use this video. You individuals in my adult class, in my adulthood class, are watching this and going, this isn't personality. Don't worry, it's the same thing. It's just all this navigation, all that stuff. It's all the same thing. Just apply whatever I've said to the class in personality to the class in adulthood. And that way, I don't have to make another one of these videos, which, less work makes for a happy professor. Happy professors grade better. Good clue. Just kidding. So, thank you for spending this time with me, getting to know this interface. If there's any questions, please use the email to get in touch with me, and use the course questions, because sometimes your peers can get to you before I do. It's a really good way to share information about the class and what my expectations are. So, take care and have a great semester.